After 2 years of a relationship, she looked me in the eyes and said, "We should just be friends." Without hesitation, I replied, "Perfect." From that moment on, I treated her the way I treat all my friends, with clear boundaries. I'm 27 years old, and 3 weeks ago, my then girlfriend, Alina, who is 26, dropped that famous line, "Just friends." We had been together for 2 years and lived together for one. I thought our relationship was stable. We talked about future plans, even attending her sister's wedding together next summer. Everything seemed on track, but one ordinary Thursday afternoon, without any warning, she asked to talk. I already had a hunch about where this was going. "I love you, but I'm not in love with you anymore," she said bluntly. "I think we should just be friends." "Just friends?" I asked, bewildered. "Yes, we get along so well. We share the same friend group, similar tastes. We'd be great friends even if we're not a good couple," she added, visibly uncomfortable. "It's not about someone else. I just need to find myself, to discover who I am without you, but I don't want to lose you completely." "So you want to break up but still keep me around?" I responded. "That sounds harsh when you put it that way. I just think we'd work better as friends. We could still see each other, be part of each other's lives." What left me stunned was that while she was saying all this, she already had a suitcase packed. Her friend Lucia was coming to pick her up in an hour. Everything was planned. "You already have an exit strategy?" I asked. "I knew this would hurt you." Lucia offered to let me stay at her place while we sort out the apartment situation. "The apartment situation?" I echoed. "Yeah, we'll need to figure out the lease, but there's no rush. We're adults, friends, we can handle it." I stayed silent for a few seconds, processing the absurdity of the moment. 2 years of living together, talking about having kids, and now she wanted us to be buddies. "All right," I said finally. "All right, we can handle this like adults." She smiled, relieved, as if thrilled with the idea of breaking up but keeping me in her life, like I'd just signed off on her perfect plan to end the relationship while still having me around for everything. "What a relief," she sighed. "I was afraid you'd get angry or make this complicated. This is why we'd be perfect as friends." That same night she left. Lucia came to pick her up, giving me a pitying look as if I were an abandoned puppy. I just raised my hand in a wave goodbye. The next morning, I honored her wish and treated her like any other friend. That's when she realized we had very different ideas about what being friends meant. At 7 a.m., she texted me, "Hey, hope you slept well. Could you bring my work laptop? I forgot it last night." "Sure," I replied. "I'll drop it at your office reception on Monday. Can't you bring it to Lucia's? I need it for the weekend. I have plans." "Monday works better for me," I said. "Plans? What plans?" she asked. "Friend stuff," I responded. She didn't like that, but what could she say? We were just friends now, and friends don't rearrange their weekends for each other. On Saturday, she texted again. "Lucia and I are trying that new brunch spot. You coming?" "No, thanks, enjoy," I replied. "Come on, we always do brunch on Saturdays. That was when we were a couple, have fun." 2 hours later, another message. "This is weird. Why are you acting like this? So distant, so cold." "I'm just being polite, friendly like you asked," I replied. Update: second week of friendship. Alina was starting to crack. For her, being friends meant keeping everything the same minus the kisses. For me, it meant setting boundaries like I would with any other friend. On Tuesday, while I was working, she showed up at the apartment unannounced. She still had her key. She helped herself to food, did laundry, showered, and left a note saying she'd taken some things. "Hope that's okay," she wrote. I texted her immediately. "Hey, saw you stop by. When you get a chance, I need you to return the key." "What? Why?" she replied. "My friends don't have keys to my place, but I still have stuff there. We can coordinate for you to pick it up like friends do." "This is ridiculous. We lived together. We did live together. Now we're friends. It's a different dynamic with different rules." That evening, she showed up furious. "Did you change the locks?" "No, I just got an extra key for myself. And FYI, I gave notice on the lease. You don't live here anymore. Here's a box with your urgent stuff. I can't believe how petty you're being." "Petty? I'm treating you like I treat all my friends. None of them have keys to my place." "But I'm not just any friend. You said you were," I pointed out. Her mask was starting to slip. She still expected to be my emergency contact, keep access to my Netflix account, and use my Prime subscription, but not anymore. The final blow came that weekend. Our friend group organized a game night. I went alone. She showed up with a new guy, Julian, speaking loudly as if to make sure everyone noticed. "This is Julian. I met him at yoga," she announced. Julian seemed nice, but it was obvious she brought him to provoke me. I shook his hand, welcomed him, and then focused on winning every round of the game, ignoring them both. Halfway through the night, Alina cornered me in the kitchen. "You really don't care that I'm with someone else. Why would I? We're friends, and friends date other people. Not even a little jealous. Do you get jealous when your other friends date?" She couldn't answer. Anything she said would mean admitting she wanted me to suffer while she found herself. But the funniest part, her best friend Lucia was especially friendly that night. She found reasons to talk to me, laughed at every joke I made, and kept touching my arm. I didn't do anything out of the ordinary, just acted like myself, finally free from Alina's shadow. The next morning, Alina texted me. "What was that with Lucia?" What? I replied. You know, the flirting. We were just talking. That's how friends communicate. She's my best friend and I'm your friend. Friends can be friends with other friends. After that, 3 days of complete silence. Then on Thursday, she changed tactics. I think I made a mistake, she wrote. About what? About us. Maybe we should talk. Okay, tell me. In person at dinner at our restaurant. You mean the Italian place? I actually have plans that day, but we could grab coffee Saturday afternoon if you want to talk. Plans with who? Does it matter? I'm just saying, friends don't have to explain their schedules. It's with Lucia, so coffee on Saturday. This isn't how friends act. It is. What you're thinking of is how couples act. It's a common mistake. Update 3 weeks post-breakup. Lena's grand find myself journey was not going well. Julian, the yoga guy, stopped responding after a couple of dates. Apparently, he didn't want to be anyone's rebound. Meanwhile, I was enjoying my single life with clear boundaries. That's when Lucia made the first move. On a Thursday night, she texted, "This is kinda random, but I have an extra ticket to that comedy show. You interested? I want to clarify. I never pursued her or saw her romantically until she showed interest. But she was funny, attractive, and most importantly, straightforward. No games, no transitions, no keeping me as a backup plan. Sounds fun, I replied. Just a heads up, Alina's getting weird about us hanging out. Wanted you to know? Got it. I'm still interested if you are. Definitely. Pick me up at 7. Saturday came and I got ready. I felt good. It was my first real date in 2 years. Just as I was leaving, my phone blew up with notifications. Are you serious? Alina texted. About what? Lucia told me you're going out. She invited me to the comedy show. You can't date my best friend. Why not? We're both single. Because it breaks girl code. She can't date my ex. I thought I was your friend, not your ex. You know what I mean? No, I don't. Friends don't get to decide who others date. She called 17 times. I put my phone on silent. The date with Lucia was amazing. She was genuinely funny, something I hadn't noticed when she was just Alina's friend. We talked about everything except Alina. Well, until the end. I should tell you, Alina's losing it, Lucia said. She called me crying, saying I betrayed her. How do you feel about that? I asked. Honestly, she's been a terrible friend lately. Everything's about her healing process and personal growth. Last week, she literally told me keeping you as a friend was her safety net in case she didn't find someone better. That made me think you deserved better, and maybe I should take a chance. We said goodbye with a sweet first date kiss. I didn't post about it or tell anyone. Still, Alina found out. Sunday, 6 a.m., she was pounding on my door. Open the door, I know you're there. I spoke through the door. It's 6 a.m., Alina. I don't care, we need to talk now. About what? You kissed my best friend. I opened the door. She looked disheveled, unwashed hair, red eyes, wearing the same clothes from Friday. Are you doing this to hurt me? She demanded. I'm living my life. You're the one who decided we shouldn't be together. I said we should be friends, not that you should date my friends. You said you needed to find yourself. I'm respecting that while moving on with Lucia. We're single, we like each other. That's how dating works. She tried to push past me into the apartment. You don't live here anymore, I said. I have stuff inside. Then schedule a time to pick it up like we discussed. You're being cruel. I'm setting boundaries. It's not the same. That's when she showed her true colors. She started a campaign with mutual friends, spreading distorted stories about how I was dating Lucia out of revenge, manipulating the situation to hurt her. Some believed her, most didn't. Our friend Bruno called me. Bro, Alina's saying you're only with Lucia to get back at her. Funny how she leaves out that she dumped me to find herself but wanted me as her backup friend, I replied, but she didn't stop there. She tried to interfere with my job, calling my office pretending to be my emergency contact, claiming I was having a mental health crisis and needed time off. My boss called concerned. Your girlfriend said you're struggling. She's not my girlfriend and I'm fine. She's the one not handling the breakup well. She sounded pretty sure you needed help. I'll deal with it. Sorry for the trouble. I documented everything with HR just in case. Update 1 month post-breakup. Alina's elaborate just friends plan had completely fallen apart. Lucia and I were officially dating, not too serious yet, just enjoying each other's company without drama. Alina, meanwhile, was unraveling. She tried turning Lucia against me, sending her old screenshots of our conversations, letters I'd written, and intimate but not explicit photos from when we were a couple. Lucia showed me everything. She's trying to make me jealous of your old relationship, Lucia said. Is it working? No, it just shows me how much patience you had with her nonsense. Then Alina made her final play. At 2 a.m., she texted, we need to talk, I'm late. Late for what? I replied, confused. You know what I mean, I'm pregnant. Congrats, I said. Who's the father? Her response was instant. Are you serious? It's you. That was curious, considering we hadn't been intimate in 2 months. It can take time to notice, she claimed. But I knew she'd been seeing other people since our breakup. Julian, the yoga guy, and some bar guy Lucia mentioned. Are you saying I'm lying? She snapped. I'm not saying anything. I'm doing the math. If you think there's a chance it's mine, let's do this right. We'll go to a doctor, then get a paternity test as soon as possible. total silence. The next day she texted, false alarm, it came, convenient. What truly triggered her collapse was realizing I was serious about splitting everything fairly. After the breakup, Alina assumed I'd keep covering her expenses while she found herself, the apartment, utilities, even our shared phone plan for the discount. Her mom called me. What's this about canceling Alina's phone? I didn't cancel it, I just removed her from my plan. We're not a couple anymore. She needs her own. But she can't afford it right now. Then she should have thought about that before ending the relationship. Are you being petty? After 2 years, I'm being practical. Friends don't pay for each other's phones. Her mom tried to defend her. It was a mistake. She's realized that now. Then she's learned a valuable lesson, I concluded. The worst came when Alina found out Lucia and I were planning a weekend trip to the same beach where she and I had celebrated our anniversary the previous year. She sent a long text accusing me of tarnishing our memories and disrespecting what we had by taking her best friend to our special place. I replied, it's a public beach. It doesn't belong to you. You know exactly what you're doing, she shot back. Yes, I'm taking my girlfriend for a nice weekend. She's not your girlfriend. She screamed, she's my friend. She was your friend, I corrected. She stopped talking to you when you tried to guilt trip her for being happy. That's when Alina made her biggest mistake. She showed up at Lucia's workplace and caused a scene. Security had to escort her out. Lucia's boss wasn't pleased. Later, Lucia called me shaken. She's lost it. She screamed that I stole her life. Do you want to file a restraining order? I asked. I might have to. This is insane. In the end, the restraining order was the reality check Alina needed. Well, that and getting fired for repeated absences due to her breakdowns. Apparently, it's hard to find yourself when you're harassing your ex and his new partner. According to mutual friends, she's moved back in with her parents and is in therapy, which was court-ordered after the workplace incident. She's blocked on all my social media and Lucia's too. Julian, the yoga guy, is dating someone else and posts about it constantly. Alina now works part-time at a bookstore, but her sense of entitlement hasn't entirely faded. Before I blocked her email too, she sent one last message. I hope you're happy. You got your way. You turned Lucia against me. You made everyone see me as crazy. You ruined my life just because you couldn't handle being just friends. I tried to keep you close because I cared, but you had to be vindictive. You had to win. Well, congrats, you won. You and Lucia deserve each other. I didn't respond. Let her believe this was all some elaborate revenge plot. The truth is much simpler. She faced the consequences of her own choices. When she said she wanted to be just friends, I took her at her word. I treated her like any other friend, with respect, boundaries, and appropriate distance. If that was too much for her, it says a lot about her real intentions. She didn't want a genuine friendship. She wanted me to wait, to beg, to stay available while she explored other options. She wanted the emotional security of knowing I was still there, just in case. But when I refused that role, when I treated her as she asked and moved on, her whole plan fell apart. Lucia and I are still together. Our relationship is calm, honest, and mature. Sometimes we laugh about the bizarre way we ended up together, but mostly we just enjoy the present. Being with someone who knows what they want is such a relief. My advice, if someone says they want to stay friends after a serious relationship, believe them, and then treat them exactly like a friend, nothing more, nothing less. Set boundaries, move forward, live your life. Real friends want you to be happy. They don't expect you to stay on pause while they figure themselves out. They don't demand couple-level benefits under the label of friendship. Alina wanted all the perks of a relationship without any responsibility. She wanted me as a backup, a safety net, an emotional crutch while she tested other options. When I refused to play that role and treated her as she asked, she crumbled. The irony, I didn't do anything cruel. I didn't pursue Lucia for revenge. I didn't post anything against Alina or try to turn anyone against her. I just lived my life, set healthy boundaries, and connected with someone who genuinely wanted to be with me. Alina's downfall was entirely her own doing. She chose to end the relationship. She tried to keep me on hold while she figured out her life. She crossed every boundary when I refused to stay still. She fought with her best friend, lost control at work, and tried to manipulate everyone around her. I didn't need to do anything more than stand my ground. What hurt her most was that I took her at her word and acted accordingly, that I didn't fall for her games, that I didn't become the backup she expected. And deep down, that wasn't cruelty, it was just maturity. Setting boundaries isn't revenge. Taking care of myself wasn't punishment. All I did was move forward with integrity and calm. I refused to be the guy who stays available just in case. Today, I'm at peace with a partner who walks beside me without ghosts from the past. I have no regrets. Sometimes we look back on how it all started with a bit of disbelief, but then we return to our reality, real, calm, and sincere. To anyone going through something similar, I say, don't be afraid to move on. If someone says they want friendship, offer it with dignity, but not at the expense of your well-being. People who truly value your presence don't need to manipulate it. Those who walk away can't expect you to stay frozen in place. Time sorts everything out. What begins as an ending can lead to a new beginning.